tapping in a way that may seem very extreme to you, but that is nevertheless very helpful to heal without harming anyone who has done wrong to you. Let's say that someone did you wrong. I know that for me, lately, I've been working on my chronic pain and the diagnosis that I received from a doctor. So that's what I was working on. For you, you may be working with your teenager and you really are mad at them. You wouldn't do anything physical to them, or you would never do something to harm them, but you have that anger and maybe rage that you need to express in a healthy way without hurting anyone. Or in the past, when I had to defend my kids at school because they punished them even though they didn't fully establish a certain rule before they decided that it was not okay, and they never explained it to the students. And I got so mad with the person that I met at the school. I forgot if she was the director. I forgot who she was. I felt like slapping her. And that's exactly what I do sometimes in my private sessions. Not so long ago, I had a client who we were working on her mother, and she suddenly felt like a dragon coming at her, inside of her. Her anger was like a dragon, and she was spitting fire to her mother, imagining that she was sending the fire to her. Another time, I had another client who grew up with someone who was pretty abusive to her, and in our tapping session, she slapped that person until that person was on the floor and that person couldn't do anything to her. She could do whatever she wanted, slap, kick. And you may think it's violent, but that's the rage expressing itself, coming out, like being felt and getting out. And you need to let yourself, to give yourself the freedom to express anything like that comes to you. Because sometimes we wished we had yelled or we could have done something. So I'm going to tell you, to be fully transparent, how it came about, this video. I suffer from chronic back pain. I'm sure if you're on my channel, you know that. And lately it has been almost unbearable. I'm in pain every day. I'm super limited in what I can do. I cannot have a normal life. And I went to see a surgeon with the hope that he would give me the solution to take care of that pain forever. So I was full of hope. I was very eagerly anticipating, positively anticipating that meeting. And that doctor was nasty. He made, when I told him that I was really at the end of my pain, both physically and emotionally, that I couldn't take it anymore, I almost cried in his office. He looked at me and he made a joke. He was like, in orthopedy, I don't know if you say orthopedy in English. For an orthopedic surgeon, there is no emotion. Something like that. And so I was shocked. Then he asked me questions, and when I answered him, I said, are you experiencing this or that? And details about myself that were very intimate that I gave him. And then I asked him, is it related to the back? He said no. So I was very, very confused. And towards the end of the session, when I was on the verge of tears, when he told me, I cannot operate on you because my case is complicated, I'm not going to go into the details. If I operate, it won't help you. I was almost crying. I said, I'm so disappointed. I so thought you would give me a solution today. All he could offer me was to go do some cortisone shots, and knowing that you cannot do too many because it damages the tissues, I was disappointed, I was afraid, I was down. And his answer to me was in French, because during the consultation he said, oh, today I had almost only French people. I don't, frankly, pardon my French, I don't give a shit. I come to you in so much pain. I do not want to joke. I don't care. And at the end of the session, he said, when I said, I'm so disappointed, what am I gonna do? He's like, c'est la vie, in French. And I was in so much shock. First of all, and I'll explain that in another video, under a situation where I panicked, when my amygdala is triggering the fight, flight, and freeze response, I freeze. And I froze. I didn't know what to tell him. And then when I came home, I was so mad. I felt like kicking him. So I did exactly what I explained today in that video. I tapped on the diagnosis, on every detail of the story. As you know, in clinical tapping, you're gonna tap on something like if you were going through a movie, a short movie, or an image, and you tap about what he was wearing, anything that is coming to mind and triggering to you. I remember there was some shelves, and he had some pamphlets there about back pain and other stuff, and even cancer, I don't know why. And so I tapped on that because at the time that triggered me, and when I thought about it, that triggered me. Every single aspect of the story, his voice, his tone, the temperature in the room, everything that was disturbing. And then, when we got to the portion where I found that he was so disrespectful and so dismissing my pain, I tapped, imagining that I was slapping him, that I slapped him on the floor, and that I even punched him. And once I evacuated all my anger and the rage and everything that was attached to it, I felt okay. I felt better. And I was more positive to give myself a few days to really reflect, and decided that I would go see someone else, and then started to work on the acceptance of the fact that I may be in pain for the rest of my life. Because even if I want to change it, even if I want to create another reality, I need to be able to not have too much attachment to what I want, otherwise I will push it away. So accepting that that's what may be for the rest of my life, and despite that, I'll be okay and I'll be flourishing, and it will be worth living. So that's why I wanted to record this video for you guys today, because I know there are many cases where we wished we could have slapped. And of course, that's not an acceptable behavior in society. You don't slap people, never. That's not acceptable. But doing it in our mind and evacuating all that anger is the healthy thing to do, because that way it doesn't stay bottled up. And I was talking to someone today about neuroscience and emotions, and how sometimes emotions take over us and get the best of who we are. That's the way for that not to happen, because when you have too much build up, it's like a pressure cooker, and one day, boom, when you expect it the least. So that will prevent the road rage and overreacting to small stuff with people in your relationships, etc., etc. I would love to know if that ever happened to you, that you dreamt about being able to slap someone, and if you tried that tapping, and if it helped you. Put that below, and I thank you for watching as usual. I'm so glad you're here. And if you like this video, give it a thumb up. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so, because that way you won't miss anything that I will publish in the future. And talk about it with your friends if you think that can help other moms. Share, because my goal is for no mom to struggle alone like I did when I went through stuff. I'll see you next time in another video.